don't wait till you get cancer to try to figure out what you've been thinking, okay? This is like quite possibly the most important thing you're gonna hear this whole year. Like, seriously. Don't wait, because your mind is constantly informing your body. So you don't want to wait for a huge diagnosis to figure out what your mind's been telling your body, right? Over years and years, right? Because it actually takes years and years for your body to develop cancer from your mind, right? Like, your mind has to be telling your body what, telling your body certain things that create cancer, right? So this can be anywhere from, having a fear of being sick or thinking about being sick. This can be thoughts about someone who has died that that had cancer. This can be thoughts about a family member that died that had cancer. This can be general fear or anxiety about disease in general, right? Or just listening to the news about disease. I mean, there's so many ways and different ideas you can get in your head about disease or being sick in general that you do have to watch. You have to figure out what you're thinking so that you just never get sick, so you can be in perfect health. And that's what I'm going to show you. Today I want to show you how to use your mind to be in perfect health all the time. And I have fully mastered this, and I had some, kind of beliefs to eradicate within me so that I could be in perfect health all the time. And just as a baseline, I have not gone to the doctor in 15 years, and that's a long time. And the only reason I got my blood work done 2 years ago is because my mom was concerned, and she was asking me like, hey, can you just at least get your blood work done? And so that I can know everything's fine. And I was like, Mom, I'm fine. Like, I truly believe I'm the healthiest person I know. So I just knew it was going to be fine. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it for you. So I just did a telehealth, and I got my blood work, the whole blood panel done. And I was totally fine, which is exactly what I expected, right? So it's literally something that I know that I've mastered. So I'm going to try to show you guys how to, bust through your limiting beliefs and really eradicate your ideas of being sick or having any kind of disease or cancer or anything like that, okay? And I've got some notes here, but this is a very important video, and you're gonna hopefully be able to literally change your mind in order to be healthy, right? All the time. Like, you don't want to be using your mind in the wrong way when it comes to health, especially, right? So we want to switch whatever it's in there, and we want to be aware of what's going on in there so we can change it, so that we don't have to get a big diagnosis before we know and start paying attention, right? Before we start paying attention about what's in our mind, right? So that's what I hope you guys gain from this video, okay? So we're just gonna start right in with it. Even if you worry, so the other thing I was gonna say too is, even if you worry about food, like, that's another one. It's a little more minor, right? Because it's not like a big disease like cancer. But if you think like your food's gonna make you fat, or anything, any ideas about food that feel not joyful or like expansive, really you want to be aware of that so you can get rid of it, right? So like, I used to think, for example, that certain foods would make me fat, right? And now I can eat anything, lots of carbohydrates, lots of cheese, anything I want. I'm not vegan, and people always ask me if I'm vegan. No, I eat every food group. I love everything. I drink lots of milk. I eat lots of cheese, all whole milk products, lots of butter. Like, I love food and a high calorie diet, but I wasn't always like that, right? I had food issues. Like, I thought, like, the issues I had were, I thought things could make me fat. Like, oh, if I eat potato chips, it's going to make me fat. I don't think that anymore. I can eat literally a whole bag of potato chips. I used to think, potato chips and cheese together, like, it's my favorite snack. I used to think ice cream could make me fat. I eat a pint of ice cream, no problem. Like, I don't believe anything can make me fat. So it's good to be paying attention to what you're thinking about food, really affirming that it's nourishing you, that no matter what you eat, you're going to be in perfect health, perfect weight, perfect ideal body, all of that. Like, and I have my ideal body and I eat whatever I want. And I used to not feel free around food, right? That was one of my main problems. So the other problems I had, that was the first one, right? And I kind of touched on that one. The other kind of like diagnoses I got as a kid was I was diagnosed with OCD, ADHD, and what was the other one? I can't remember right now. But anyway, a lot of those, or all of the diagnosis, I believe, was just just a function of my mind, right? Which is a lot of what diagnosis is, or pretty much all of it, right? Is just your mind creating this in your body. And mine was from stress, like living with volatility kind of made me like hyper controlling, right? So controlling is OCD, and then ADHD is kind of like this hyperactivity of not being calm within yourself, so having anxiety from this sort of like stress that I grew up with, right? So I was able to heal all of that with just figuring out what was in here and changing it, right? And being more relaxed because of it, and then all of that went away. So I truly believe you can heal any diagnosis through using your mind. And I want to say this too, you know, at any given moment, we all have cancer in our bodies. Like, and I always say that to people when they get diagnosis. It's like your body's constantly doing this thing called autophagy, which means it's constantly eating the bad cells. It just means cleaning up the body, right? So it's constantly cleaning the body up and making your body a healthy place again, right? And so at any given time, like your body can be showing signs of a cancer or showing signs of a diagnosis, but the next day it can take care of it, right? It can, the cells can go in there and eat that up. So at any given moment you can have a diagnosis. It's not quite even really real, right? So I would always consider that when you get a diagnosis, right? And you never want to take anything seriously. Like, of course, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm saying, like, take your medicine, do whatever you need to do that you believe in, right? Like, if a doctor gives you something and you feel like, okay, I got to take this, I believe in this, I want to, do everything I can to, obliterate whatever this is, or just, be done with it, right? So I recommend always doing that and getting your beliefs, getting your mind behind what you're doing, right? If you're taking a medicine, if you're taking a pill, if you believe in, get your beliefs in line with that thing so that it all can work together. Now, if you're taking something and you don't believe in it, there's some, not matching up there, right? There's some discord there, right? So I don't recommend doing that, right? But you want to try to get behind everything you're taking if you do get a diagnosis, right? And then just know that you literally, if you start paying attention to what's in your mind and taking care of all the erroneous thoughts that are running in the background, you will never get sick. And if you do get sick, if you start paying attention to that stuff, you can get healthy very quickly. I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing, and I've helped so many people through their I have a gift for seeing what's going on, like what tracks are running behind the scenes, right, with people, so I can really help people uproot things that are in their mind. And I've done it with so many of my friends, and they will always come to me for like health information, or like, I have a good background in herbalism too. Like, my grandmother was a herbal nutritionist, nurse practitioner, so I have a sort of a very kind of a baseline for knowing that stuff. So, but I never just say, oh, take this herb. It's always about the mind, right? The mind has to be behind whatever you're doing physically, right? So if there is something you're doing physically, I just wanted to make that point because it's really it's something that I feel like needs to be said. Okay, so that I talked about placebos in medicine and how you have to really be behind whatever the thing you're taking, and it's really good to trust whoever you're going to. If you're going to a doctor or a nurse practitioner or like a holistic practitioner, you know, that's all really important too. And then I wanted to say, okay, so yeah, the other thing was the two issues that I had to sort of like get rid of, which maybe some of you can relate to about health, was I was always told to exaggerate to doctors when I was little. And so I got in the habit of like saying, oh, it's really bad, you know, it really adding to the problem by explaining it in this way that made people take me seriously. Like my mom was really adamant about telling me, oh, you got to tell them it's so bad so that they know to help you, they know it's serious, right? And that kind of got me on the wrong track, right? And I've since fixed that, right? That was something that was taught to me as a kid. So I've completely got rid of that one, right? I was like, okay, that's not working for me, that one's got to go. Okay, so you just want to be aware of these things you were taught as kids that sunk in, right? The other one was, which was more of a deep held belief, was I literally loved the attention my mum would give me when I was sick. And I think a lot of people can relate to this one. I loved being sick because my mum would pay all this attention to me, and I had other siblings growing up and lots of money issues in my household, and my mum was in school and my mum was working and my dad was working and people were always busy. So the fact that when I was sick I got all this attention made me seriously love being sick. I'm not kidding. So I had to really work on that and be like, no, and just the main affirmation I used when I realized I had that belief in my head was just, I'm the healthiest person I know. And I literally believe that now, right? I really do believe that. And you can believe that too. And I want you to believe that. So that's why I'm kind of, you know, trying to make this video. So yeah, those were the two main issues I had about being sick, right? So anytime I would get sick, I would always exaggerate it. I would always, oh, what was me? Like, just, you know, try to get attention because I loved it so much. I loved all the like focus on me that my mum would like make me dinner and make me soup and all these nice things, tea and things like that. So let's see, what else did I want to say about that? But yeah, just know that you've got to do what feels right for you. I have here like I believe I can heal everything with my mind and herbs. If you have them, more a placebo, because we live in the physical, right? So I was just talking about placebos, like you got to get behind your placebos because we do live in a physical reality, right? So if you have herbs or something you like or something you believe in, can really help speed up the process. And I'm not saying not to use your mind, because your mind is the most important aspect of being healthy, right? You want to train your mind to use it for health, right? You don't want to use it for being sick, because so many of us are trained. All the you know, commercials and all the things on TV and the things we see in movies and just all the stuff that people are putting in our minds are all about being sick, right? Because people are trying to sell things, right? We got like selling us, you know, pills and prescriptions and all this whole medical industry trying to sell us stuff, right? And that's really like a kind of really works against us using our mind for health, right? So you really want to think about all the beliefs that you have in your mind about health, and you can really, I truly believe you can just either never get cancer, never get sick, or if you do get sick, you can simply completely eradicate it by just paying attention to what's in your mind and really figuring out your limiting beliefs and then eradicating them and saying opposite beliefs. You know, like I literally I had a blanket statement that worked for me, and I just said, I'm the healthiest person I know. I'm the healthiest person I know. Now, I'm not recommending you don't go to the doctor, right? Because that's just what I like. Like, I just like knowing that. And I'm so solid in that I don't even think twice. Like, I don't worry about it, right? Like, I'm not like, oh, I wonder, I should get checked, you know, I wonder like if I'm healthy. No, I just trust that I'm healthy. I'm so used to believing that I'm healthy, and it's such a standard belief in my head that I don't question it, right? But if you ever have question, like, of course you should go. Like, I'm not saying not to. Please don't take what I do as something you should do. You know, obviously just do what's right for you, okay? And so let's see. I just want to say, I hope that you can take from this and literally use this transformation information or transforming information. If I made something not quite understandable, please let me know, and I'll go over it more, like go into detail, because it was kind of like an overview and there's a lot to say about it, and I didn't want to make this video too long. So but I want you to take this stuff seriously, guys. This literally worked for me. It changed my life, especially with health. Like, you just don't want to mess with health. You want to fix your limiting beliefs about health, okay? And you want to not have little things that are holding you back, like feeling like you want pity from people or feeling like you need attention, right? That comes from a low self-concept. This comes from, you know, just a low self-concept and then having limiting beliefs when you're a kid about certain things, right? So it's good to just go in there, pay attention to it. Once you figure out what it is, it's easy after that. You just have to switch it, change it to the opposite, and then stick to that and know that you're healthy, you know, and trust. You can even say, I'm the healthiest person I know, which was my favorite thing to say, okay? I don't say it anymore because I don't need to, because it's solid belief. But anyway, let's see. I do hear people say it though. People say it to me, right? Because I just know that, right? I don't even have to affirm it anymore. Like, it's just something that I believe. So my sister always says, like one of my sisters always says it to me. Lots of my friends say it. Yeah, I hear it a lot. Even people that I work with say it. So anyway, I just want you to know to take this stuff seriously. It seriously works. You can change your life with this stuff. Don't worry about diagnosis. Your body's constantly working for you in your favor, like, you know, chopping up the bad cells, rejuvenate your body. Your cells are always functioning really well. Our body's an amazing machine, you know, and get behind the fact that your body is amazing. Like, it does amazing work for you. Like, it's constantly, you don't have to think about breathing, you don't have to think about autophagy. It's doing it for you. It is clearing all the stuff out, all the stuff you don't need, and constantly, you know, remind yourself, especially if you get a diagnosis, remind yourself your body knows what to do. You just have to really help it with your mind and really tell it good things, okay? So anyway, with that, I'll just ask you what you want next. Would you like a video on like emotional regulation? I thought that would be a really good one. I have more to say on health too, if you want to hear more about that, or more like body stuff, maybe more about like changing your body. But anyway, so emotional regulation was a huge one for me that I had to learn, and I have some ways to do that. So that would be a good video idea, or what your SP is thinking when you're recreating your relationships. I was going to do that one too. So whichever one. I was away this week, and I haven't figured out how to like film while I'm away. So I'm so happy to be back, and I literally appreciate you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Like, I've been loving interacting with you guys, and you guys are smart, you guys are intelligent, and you know what you're doing, you know, and just keep at this stuff, you know. You're not going to fail if you keep doing it, right? So I just want to say that thank you so much for subscribing and, like, you know, being here, and I just love and appreciate every one of you. So all right, so if you loved it, thumbs me up, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye, guys.